Very good morning to all of you, my friends. Welcome back. So in the previous session, we started with activity-based costing, wherein we discussed the difference between the traditional approach and the activity-based costing. When talking about the traditional approach, what we used to do is that total overhead divided by basis of absorption. So it can be either on the basis of labor hour, machine hour, prime cost, material cost, or labor cost, whatever it is. So there was only one basis of absorption in traditional system of costing. Coming to activity-based costing, it says that instead of absorbing all the overheads on a single basis, I have a better approach, wherein it says first identify the various activities of the organization. Once the activities are identified, whatever the cost that are associated with an activity will be grouped together to form a cost pool. So we will get the total amount for that activity. Now, for every activity, there will be a separate basis of absorption. We call it as cost driver. So हर एक्टिविटी का एक सेपरेट बेसिस होगा absorption का, we call it as cost driver. And once cost driver is identified, we'll be able to calculate the rate of absorption. And once the rate is calculated, we can charge it to a particular product to calculate the total cost. So this is what we discussed in the previous session. Apart from this, we discussed two questions also on activity-based costing. So let's proceed further with few more questions on activity-based costing. I request you guys to open your study material. We'll be discussing practical question number 1 from the study material. Good morning, Kuldeep. Good morning, Gunjan. Good morning, Deepika. So let's start with practical question number 1. I request you guys to open your study material. Practical question number 1, page number 5.34. Good morning, Rajiv. I hope you guys were able to solve the questions what I gave you, what I have mentioned as homework in the previous session. Still, I'm discussing practical question number 1 from the study material. So let's start. Woolmark Limited manufacture 3 types of product, namely P, Q, and R. So there is a company, Woolmark Limited, which manufacture 3 types of product, P, Q, and R. And the data relating to a period R is under. So the data is given relating to machine hours per unit, direct labor hours per unit, direct material per unit, and the production in units. Currently, company uses traditional costing method and absorb all the production overheads on the basis of machine hours. And the machine hour rate of overheads is 6 per hour. So here, the company is basically absorbing all the overheads on the basis of machine hour, and they have given the absorption rate also. As per traditional costing, total overhead divided by machine hour is equals to 6. That is, the rate is given straight away. Now, the direct labor hour rate is rupees 20 per hour. The company proposes to use activity-based costing system and the activity analysis as under, wherein batch size is given in units, the number of purchase order per batch is given, the number of inspection per batch is given, the total production overhead are analyzed as under, wherein the machine setup cost is 20% of the total overheads, Similarly, 30% goes to machine operation cost, inspection cost is 40%, and material procurement related cost is 10%. You are required to calculate the cost per unit of each product using traditional method of absorbing all the production overhead on the basis of machine hour, and calculate the cost per unit of each product using activity-based costing principle. So this is the question given. So let's start with this question. The question number is 1, practical question number 1 from the study material Medha. Now see herein, in this question, the absorption rate is given, but the total overheads are not given. And since herein we will be needing total overheads, because see, when talking about the total overhead, it is to be distributed among the various activities, that is 20, 30, 40, and 10%. So we need to calculate the total overheads. Now see herein, the overheads are absorbed on the basis of machine hours, and the machine hour rate is also given. So let's calculate the machine hours. Once the machine hours, once the machine hours is calculated, we'll be able to calculate the total overheads. So let's start with practical question number 1. There are 3 products, P, Q, and R. The number of units manufactured are 3,000, 5,000, and 20,000. And see, machine hours is per unit is given, that is 10, 18, and 14. See, the total number of units are given and machine hours per unit is given, that is 10, 18, and 14. So this will be 30,000. This will be 90,000. Total number of machine hours are 4 lakh, and absorption rate is given, that is rupees 6 per hour. So my total overheads will be how much? Anyone having any doubts till now? Herein will be needing the total overhead. So anyone having any doubts? Yes, Harsh, Mustafa, Medha, Deepika, Mr. Linga, Gunjan. Anyone having any doubts? Now, since we have the cost per unit available, so let's prepare the statement of cost as per traditional system of costing. Herein three products are manufactured, P, Q, and R. When talking about the material cost, it is given per unit, that is 90, 80, and 120. Next, talking about labor cost. See, the direct labor hour per unit are given and the rate is given, that is rupees 20 per hour. So 4 into 20, that is 80. 12 into 20, that is 240. And 8 into 20, that is 160. We can easily calculate the overheads also. The overhead rates we have is rupees 6 per hour. We have the absorption rate, that is rupees 6 per machine hour. And the machine hours are also available per unit, that is 10, 18, and 14. So 10 into 6, 60. 18 into 6, that is 108. And 14 into 6, that is 84. So my cost will be 230, 428, 364. Anyone having any doubts till now? Yes, you can do, Himanshu. .34 page number. Let's proceed further. Now let's start with the next part. 1 second, let me check if there is any query. Overhead calculation once again. So see, Mr. Harsh Mishra, see herein the absorption rate is given in the question that overheads are absorbed on the basis of machine hours. So in short, what we used to do, overheads divided by machine hour will get the absorption rate. This is how we do calculate the machine absorption rate. Now see here in the absorption rate is given, that is rupees 6. Machine hours we have calculated, that is 4 lakh. Overheads are not given in the question. So very simple, cross multiply 6 into 4, 24 lakh will be my overheads. I hope it is clear, Harsh. Yes, Harsh. Now, let's start with the second part, that is use of activity-based costing. I'll be using this space as a part of working. So let's start. So statement showing calculation of absorption rate. Now see what all activities are there. Machine setup cost, machine operation cost, inspection cost, and material procurement related cost. So these are the various activities of the organization. Now, when talking about the total amount relating to an activity, see the total overheads we have calculated is how much? 24 lakh. So the total overheads what we have calculated is 24 lakh and 20% goes to machine setup cost. The total overheads we have calculated is 24 lakh and 20% belongs to machine setup cost. So this will be 4 lakh 80,000. Again, 30% goes to machine operation cost. So this will be 7 lakh 20,000. Inspection cost is 40%. So this will be 9 lakh 60,000. And material procurement related cost is 10%. So this will be 2 lakh 40,000. The total will be 24 lakh. So now we have the activities, the cost relating to an activity. Now the point is cost driver. Now, very important, in this question, the cost driver are not given straight away. Till now, we discussed two questions in which the cost driver were given straight away, that for this activity, this will be the cost driver. For this activity, this will be the cost driver. But now in this question, no information is given as regards ki kaun si activity ka kaun sa cost driver hoga. So herein, we have to identify the cost driver. So whatever the most appropriate cost driver for an activity is, we will just assign it. Now, we have to use the information that is given in the question. Very good, Shamli Sharma. So we have to use the information that is given in the question. Now, the first one is machine setup cost. Second is machine operation cost, inspection cost, and material procurement related cost. When talking about the additional information given in question, batch size is given, number of purchase order per batch is given, and number of inspection per batch is also given. So this is the information given in the question. Now, the first cost is machine setup cost. Now, machine setup cost means what? That every time we start a batch, we have to create a setup for the machinery. So when talking about machine setup cost, it can be absorbed on the basis of number of batches. because for every batch, we need to set up the machinery again. So when talking about the most appropriate basis of absorption for machine setup cost, the most appropriate basis of absorption can be the number of batches. Because again, machine setup cost has nothing to do with the number of inspection, the number of purchase order. So better it is, the best approach is what? The number of batches. So herein, when talking about machine setup cost, it is to be absorbed on the basis of number of batches of material. Or straight away we can write number of batches. When talking about machine operation के related खर्चा, so the best approach is to be absorbed on the basis of machine hour, because machine hours are given in the question. So next one is the inspection cost. Again, see, information is given in the question regarding the number of inspection per batch. So the best approach is, when talking about inspection cost, it can be absorbed on the basis of number of inspection. Again, next is material procurement related cost. Material procure करते हैं तो उसका खर्चा. So again, it can be distributed or it can be absorbed on the basis of number of purchase order. Because every time we place a purchase order, the procurement related cost is incurred. In fact, it has been discussed in material costing also, wherein how to procure the material. So there are various costs that are associated with the procurement of material. So as in when you place a purchase order, certain costs are incurred. So we can say material procurement related cost can be absorbed on the basis of number of So with the information given in the question, you have to identify कि कौन सी activity का कौन सा basis of absorption होगा. So anyone having any doubts till now, then you guys can please post your queries. Very good, Krishna. The answer is correct. Anyone with any doubts or queries? So let's start with the next part. When talking about the number of batches, see, we have to calculate these items. So we need units. And then lastly, we will calculate the Now, let's start with the calculation. Now see, the number of batches are not given in the question. The number of batches are not given in the question straight away. In question, the batch size is given कि एक batch की size क्या होती है. So batch size is given in units. That is, in a particular batch, we are manufacturing 150 units of product P, 500 units of product Q, and 1000 units of product R. So एक particular batch size क्या होता है? 150, 500 and 1000 for the three products. And the total production we have is 3000, 5000 and 20,000. So we can easily calculate the number of batches. So I'm using this space to calculate the workings. So first one is this, second one is this, third one is this, and fourth, the statement of cost we will prepare. Now the total units we are manufacturing is 3000, 5000 and 20,000. बैच साइज मींस व्हाट, दैट एक बैच में कितने यूनिट्स मैन्युफैक्चर करते हैं, हाउ मेनी यूनिट्स आर मैन्युफैक्चर्ड इन अ बैच. So it is 150, 500 and 1000. So in a particular batch, we are manufacturing 150 units and the total units manufactured is 3000. So we can easily calculate the number of batches. So the total number of batches will be how much? 20 in this case. Anyone having any doubts? Very good, Mustafa. So we have the total number of batches, that is 50. So this part is sorted now. When talking about the second, that is machine operation cost, it is absorbed on the basis of machine hours. So the number of machine hours we have already calculated, that is 4 lakh. Now the next is number of inspection. Now when talking about the inspection, it is given number of inspection per batch. एक बैच में कितने इंस्पेक्शन होते हैं. So herein we have calculated the number of batches. Inspection is given per batch. Inspection, the number of inspection per batch is given, that is 5, 4 and 3. See the number of batches we have and the inspection per batch is given in the question. So total inspection. So every batch we do 5 inspection and the number of batches are 20. So this will be 100. This will be 40. This will be 60 and this will be 200. So this is the first part. This is the second part. Very good, Shamli. Very good, Meenu. Now, so the number of inspection, total number of inspection we have is 200. Now the last point, we have to calculate the number of purchase order, and again the purchase order per batch is given in the question, that is 3, 10 and 8. So purchase order per batch is given, that is 3, 10 and 8. So we can calculate the total purchase order. Purchase order per batch is 3, 10 and 8. And the total number of batches are 20, 10 and 20. So 20 into 3, this will be 60. 10 into 10, this will be 100. And 20 into 8, this will be 160. So this will be 320. So the total number of purchase order will be how much? 320. I hope this part is clear to all. See, the question is not given straight away. The information is not given straight away in the question. We have to do the few calculation. So first part, when talking about number of batches, the units are given and the batch size is given. So we have calculated the number of batches. When talking about machine operation, it is to be absorbed on the basis of machine hours. So machine hours we have already calculated. When talking about inspection cost, it is to be absorbed on the basis of number of inspections. And again, the inspection is given per batch. So we have to calculate the number of inspection per batch into the batches. We will get the total inspection. And similarly, again, when talking about the number of purchase order, we have to follow the same approach. Anyone having any doubts or queries till now, you guys can please post. Waiting for your queries. See, till now we discussed the question wherein, till now the type of questions what we discussed wherein straight away activity and the cost driver relating to an activity is given in the question. But herein, in this question, we have to use our brain and to identify कि किस एक्टिविटी का कौन सा कॉस्ट ड्राइवर होगा. I hope you guys are now comfortable with activity based costing now. I understand that in first question many were facing Hina, see, very important. See, when talking about why I have taken the batch number of batches, see, the cost is what? Machine setup cost. Machine को setup करने का खर्चा. Now, every time we start a batch, we have to incur the cost of setup. So we can say machine setup cost is related to the number of batches. If the production runs are given, then it is related to number of production run. But batch size is irrelevant relating to setup. Setup का batch size से कोई लेना देना नहीं है. Setup cost is more or less related to either number of production run or number of batches. Batch size means what? That एक batch में कितने units manufacture किए. So again, you have to use your brain and you have to identify that what is the best basis of absorption, and that comes with practice. So if you practice few questions, you will understand that why I'm taking the number of batches rather than the batch size. I hope it is clear, Meenu. Sorry, Hina. Okay, so let's proceed further now. Let's calculate the absorption rate. So the entire data is ready. 4,80,000 divided by 50. So this will be 9,600 per batch. Next is 7,20,000 divided by 4 lakhs. So this will be 1.8 per machine hour. This will be 4,800 per inspection. And 750 per purchase order. So we are done with the calculation of absorption rate. Now the last part, that is statement of cost. So there are three products, P, Q, and R. When talking about material and labor, we will calculate the total and we will multiply it by number of units. So 90, 80, and 120. 80, 240, and 160. We have the number of units with us, that is 3,000, 5,000 and 20,000. So we'll calculate the total cost, or we can write it as prime cost also. Now let's start with the overheads. I think, Minu, it is 56 lakh. So now let's start with the overheads. The first overheads is machine setup cost. It is 9,600 per batch. Into number of batches are 20, 10 and 20. 9,600 per batch, and the number of batches are how much? 20, 10 and 20. So 9,600 into 20, that is 1,92,000. 9,600 per batch, and the number of batches we have is 20, 10 and 20. So this will be 1,92,000. Then 9,600 into 10. This will be 96,000. And 9,600 into 20. It will be again 1,92,000. I hope it is clear to all. I do remember Vijay Raghavan, very good and congratulations. So one of the student came to the class, Mr. Vijay Raghavan. He got exemption in costing. So very good. Congratulations and wish you good luck, Vijay Raghavan. So now let's proceed further. So we are done with machine setup cost. Anyone having any doubts in the calculation? So let's proceed further. So the next cost is machine operation cost. It is dependent upon machine hours. So it is 1.8 per hour. And we have the machine hours that is 30,000, 90,000 and 2,80,000. So 30,000 into 1.8. This will be 54,000. Sorry. So this will be 54,000. Next is 90,000 into 1.8. So this will be 1,62,000 and 2,80,000 into 1.8. This will be 5,04,000. So this is all what about machine operation. Very good, Meenu. Now next is inspection cost. It is 4,800 per inspection. And we have calculated the total number of inspection, that is 100, 40 and 60. So 4,800 into 100. 4,800 into 100. This will be 4,80,000. 4,800 into 40. This will be 1,92,000. And 4,800 into 60. That is 2,88,000. We are done with the inspection cost. Now next is material procurement cost. So it is 750 per purchase order, and the number of purchase order also we have calculated. So 750 into 60, that is 45,000. Similarly, 750 into 100. This will be 75,000. And 750 into 160. This will be 1,20,000. So we can easily calculate the total cost. So 5,10,000. 1 second, guys. So let's calculate the total cost. So 5,10,000, 1,92,000, 54,000, 4,80,000, and 45,000. So this will be 12,81,000. Very good, Purnima. Now next is 16 lakh, 9 lakh, sorry, 96,000, 1,62,000, 1,92,000, and 75,000. So this will be 21,25,000. Similarly, 56 lakh, 1,92,000, 5,04,000, 2,88,000, and 1,20,000. So this will be 67,04,000. Very good, everyone. Now, since the question is asking us to calculate the unit cost, so what we will do is total cost we have calculated. If we divide it by number of units, we will get the cost per unit. So the total cost divided by number of units we have. If we divide it by number of units, we will get the cost per unit. So this will be 335.2. This will be 425. This will be 427. So this is what my total cost, and this is what my cost per. So anyone having any doubts in this question, you guys can please post. What I can figure out is that as we are discussing more and more questions, you guys are getting thorough with the concepts, and there are very less queries now. Still, let me check. Okay, Mustafa, can you please brief your query where exactly you are finding difficult? I'll give you time to copy Ishwara, Miss Aishwarya. Let me check the queries. Okay, Meda. So, Meda, machine operation cost, this is the machine operation. This is an activity. And herein we have calculated the rate, that is 1.8 per hour. So 1.8 into the number of machine hours, 30,000, 1.8 into 90,000, and 1.8 into 2,80,000. This is how we got the machine operation cost. I hope it is clear, Meda. Okay, so Riddhi Bain Rabari, how overheads came 60, 108, and 84? I think you guys are talking about these overheads, right? I think Mustafa also is having the same query, that how come I got this? No worries, Meda, that's okay. I think I'm getting the same query from one or two students. Very good, Harsh. Now see, very simple, guys. Many students raise the query that how come I got this 60, 108, and 84? Now see, very simple. In traditional approach, overheads are absorbed on the basis of machine hours, right? In traditional approach, overheads are absorbed on the basis of machine hours. Now let me open the question. We have the number of machine hours given in the question, wherein the machine hours are 10 hours per unit for P, 18 hours per unit for Q, and 14 hours per unit for R. And very important, instead of calculating absorption rate, herein the absorption rate is given straight away. Question में absorption rate given है, that how much will be my overheads? 6 per machine hour. So when talking about this 60, it is 6 into my number of machine hours is how much? 10. This is 6 into 18. And this is 6 into 14. Since the overheads are absorbed on the basis of number of machine hours, so herein the overhead absorption rate is also given, that is 6 per machine hour, and the number of machine hours per unit is also given. Simply we have applied the rate and we have calculated the total cost. I hope your query is resolved, Mr. Mustafa, and one more student, I don't forgot the name. Riddhi, Miss Riddhi. I hope this part is clear to all. Yes, Riddhi and Mustafa. So Rebari, okay. So Miss Rebari, I hope it is clear to you. Anyone else having any doubts or queries? Now see, again, just like the previous two question, I hope your query is resolved, Rebari. So just like the previous two questions, again I'm following the same pattern to solve the question. The question is asking us to prepare the statement of cost as per traditional approach and as per activity-based costing. So herein again the same format. The calculation of absorption rate, but since absorption rate is given, so the calculation of total overheads, the statement of cost, again, the statement showing calculation of absorption rate as per ABC, the additional workings since the information was missing in the question, and the statement of cost as per ABC. So this is the uniform procedure I am applying in all the question. That is absorption rate, statement of cost, absorption rate, statement of cost. If any additional working, then do prepare it. So giving you 5 minutes time to copy everything. Again, do write your footnotes that why I have taken these as the basis of absorption. Because see guys, very important, machine setup cost has nothing to do with inspection. Machine setup cost has nothing to do with purchase order. And again, machine setup cost has nothing to do with machine hours. So the most appropriate basis of absorption is what? The number of batches. So this will come with practice. Once you will solve 5, 6 more questions, you'll be able to understand that, okay, if it is a setup related cost, then it can be absorbed on the basis of number of setups. Or if number of setups are not given, then number of batches. If number of batches are also not given, then we can say number of production run. So when talking about machine setup cost, it can be absorbed on either of the three bases, that is number of setup, number of production run, number of batches. So in तीनों में से कुछ ना कुछ क्वेश्चन में आपको गिवन होगा. So this is the procedure what you have to follow while solving the question. Let me check if there are any queries. Yes, don't worry, Meda. So giving you 3 to 4 minutes time to copy everything. In the meanwhile, do write your comments that this is what I have understood from this part. That is what will be the basis of absorption. So fine, guys, we are done with this question. Anyone with any doubts or queries? Medha, hopefully all your queries are resolved. Any doubts, Medha? Mr. Linga, any doubts? So now we are done with this question. Now let's start with one more question. I request you guys to open illustration number 4 from the study material. Illustration number 4, it's a very good question again. Till now we discussed question wherein we are manufacturing a product. Now, how this activity-based costing works in service industry. So we'll be discussing illustration number 4, wherein it is related to banking. So illustration number 4, हमारा अपना bank offer 3 products. So there are 3 products: deposit, loans, and credit card. So just like in the previous question, it is P, Q, and R. So herein there are 3 products: deposit, loans, and credit card. The bank has selected 4 activities for a detailed budgeting exercise following activity-based costing. Now it is given in the question that there are total 4 activities. There are 3 products: deposit, loans, and credit card, and there are 4 activities. So the bank want to know the product-wise total cost per unit for the activity so that the prices may be fixed accordingly. So ultimately, we have to calculate the total cost of deposit, loans, and credit cards. The following information is made available to formulate the budget. So we have to formulate the budget, wherein when talking about the first activity, it is ATM service. So when talking about ATM service, the present cost is machine maintenance, it is 4 lakh, rent, it is 2 lakh, currency replenishment, it is 1 lakh. And when talking about the estimation for the budgeted period, all fixed, no change in machine maintenance, rent, fully fixed, no change, and currency replenishment, the cost is 1 lakh, but for the budgeted period, it is given that it is expected to be double during the budgeted period. So the current cost total is 7 lakh and we have to calculate the cost for the budgeted period. Now, very important, when talking about this activity, the activity is ATM service and the cost driver for that activity is what? See, this activity is driven by number of ATM transaction. So the overheads of this activity are to be absorbed on the basis of number of ATM transaction. Next is computer processing is an activity and the total amount is 5 lakh rupees. And when talking about the estimate for the budgeted period, it is given that half this amount is fixed and no change is expected. So out of this 5 lakh, 50% is fixed and no change is expected. However, when talking about the variable portion, it is given that the variable portion is expected to increase to 3 times the current level. So the variable portion, that is 2,50,000, it will be 3 times in the estimate in the budget period. And the activity is driven by the number of computer transaction. So computer processing is the activity. We need to calculate the cost for the budgeted period. And when talking about the cost driver, it is the number of computer transaction. Very good, Minu. Now the next activity is issuing statement. The current cost is 18 lakh. Now see, the information is given wherein presently 3 lakh statements are made. In the budgeted period, 5 lakh statements are expected. For every increase of 1 lakh statement, 1 lakh rupees is the budgeted increase. So it's very simple. We can calculate the budgeted cost. And when talking about this cost driver, it is driven by the number of statements. Now, next is computer inquiry. So next activity is computer inquiry, and the cost is 2 lakh. It is given in the question that estimated to be increased by 80% during the budgeted period. So it is to be increased by 80% in the budgeted period, and the activity is driven by telephone minutes. So there are 4 activities and the 4 cost driver. When talking about the cost driver, it is number of ATM transaction for the first case, number of computer transactions for the second case, number of statement for the third case, and the number of the telephone minutes for the fourth case. Now here the information is also given: number of ATM transaction, number of computer processing transaction, number of statement to be issued, and telephone minutes. So straight away everything is given in the question. Now to calculate the cost per unit, again, the bank budget a volume of 58,600 deposit account, 13,000 loan account, and 14,000 credit card account. Now the question is asking us to calculate the budgeted rate for each activity. So we have to calculate the budgeted absorption rate for each activity, prepare the budgeted cost statement activity wise. Okay. Thereafter, compute the budgeted cost per account for each product using first and second above. So fine, let's start with this question. See guys, half of the work is done when you read the question carefully. See, I have read that question in a systematic way. So at least you guys have a clear picture that, okay, deposit, loans, and credit card are my 3 products. There are 4 activity. There are 4 cost driver. Now in this, the cost is given for the current year. We have to calculate the budgeted cost. So this is all what the summary of this question. It is illustration number 4 from the study material. I'm already done with the explanation. It is 5.27 illustration number 4. So giving you 3 to 4 minutes time to read the question once again. See, I have read the question. Now try to read it and try to make a picture that how to approach the solution. So giving you 2 minutes time to read the question with patience. I request everyone to read the question once again with patience. Read each and every line of the question and again try to frame a picture that how we will start with the solution. See guys, half of the work is done when you read the question carefully. So giving you 2 minutes time. You can use it interchangeably. So let's start with the solution now. So herein we need to first calculate the cost for the budgeted period. We have to prepare the statement of cost for the budgeted period. So let's start with ATM service. Now see, when talking about 4 lakh, there is no change. When talking about rent, 2 lakh, no change. And when talking about currency replenishment, 1 lakh, it is to be double during the next period. So 4 lakh, no change, plus 2 lakh, no change, plus 1 lakh is to be double in the next period. So machine maintenance, 4 lakh, no change, 2 lakh, no change, and 1 lakh is to be double in the next period. So I'm just writing it straight away only. So 4 lakh plus 2 lakh. Since the third cost, that is currency replenishment cost, is to be double in the next period, so this will be 1 lakh. 1 lakh into 2, 2 lakh. So 4 plus 5, 6, 7, 8. So the ATM service cost will be 8 lakh. Next is computer processing. It is given that the half of this amount is fixed and no change is expected. When talking about the variable proportion, it is to be increased to 3 times the current level. So fixed, it will be 2,50,000. Variable, it is saying that half of this amount is fixed and no change is expected, and variable portion is expected to increase to 3 times. It means the balance 2,50,000 is to be increased to 3 times. So this will be 7,50,000. So total computer processing cost will be 10 lakh. Next is issuing statement, wherein it is given that presently 3 lakh statements are made. In the budgeted period, 5 lakh statements are expected. Now, very important, there is an increase in number of statements by 2 lakh, and it is given for every increase of 1 lakh statement, 1 lakh rupees is the budgeted increase. So, her 1 lakh statement pe cost kitna lagega? 1 lakh. So, there is an increase of 2 lakh statements. So, the total cost will be increased by 2 lakh. So the issuing statement cost will be now be 20 lakh. Next, computer inquiries. It is 2 lakh and it is to be increased by 80% during the budget period. So this will be 3,60,000. So we have calculated the cost for the budgeted period. When talking about ATM service, it will be 8 lakh. Computer processing cost, it will be 10 lakh. Issuing statement, it will be 20 lakh. And computer inquiry, it will be 3,60,000. Anyone having any doubts or queries, you guys can please post. Yes, see, Mustafa, the first thing is the overheads. See, overheads are not given in the question, so we are just calculating the overheads first. So the first step is calculation of overheads because the overheads are given for the current period and we have to calculate it for the budgeted period. So herein we have calculated the overheads for the budgeted period. Now, statement showing calculation of absorption rate. I hope it is clear, Mustafa. See, when talking about issuing statement, issuer, please read, presently 3 lakh statements are made. In the budgeted period, 5 lakh statements are expected. It means there is an increase in number of statements by 2 lakh. Now, for every increase of 1 lakh statement, 1 lakh rupees is the budgeted increase. So, for every increase of 1 lakh, the extra cost will be 1 lakh. So, there is an increase of 2 lakhs. So, the extra cost will be how much? 2 lakh. So, 18 lakh plus 2 lakh. I hope it is clear, Aishwarya. I've explained it, Rabari. I hope it is clear. Krishna, I'm not getting what you are saying and what you are asking. So now let's proceed further. One second. So now let's proceed further. Statement showing calculation of absorption rate. The same process we'll be following now. Wherein my activity. So ATM service, computer processing and issuing statement and computer inquiry. When talking about the total amount, we have already calculated the total amount, that is 8 lakh for this activity, 10 lakh for computer processing, 20 lakh for issuing statement, and 3,60,000 for computer inquiry. Mr. Harsh Mishra, when talking about the statement, it is given that presently we are printing 3 lakh statement and the cost is 18 lakh. Now the number of statement has increased to 5 lakh, and it is given in the question that for every 1 lakh increase in statement, the additional cost will be 1 lakh. So there is a total increase in number of statement by 2 lakh. So the additional cost will be how much? 2 lakh. So 18 lakh plus 2 lakh, 20 lakh. Now the basis of absorption, we call it as cost driver. When talking about ATM service, it is absorbed on the basis of number of ATM transaction. When talking about the computer processing, it is given in the question number of computer transaction. When talking about issuing statement, it is driven by number of statements. And when talking about computer inquiry, it is driven by telephone minutes. The number of units are given, so we can calculate the when talking about number of ATM transactions, see, the total number of ATM transactions are 1,50,000 for deposits, no transactions for loans and credit card, it is 50,000. So 1,50,000 plus 50,000, so this will be 2 lakh. One minute, guys. When talking about the number of computer processing transaction, the number of computer transaction, it is given 15 lakh, 2 lakh and 3 lakh. So total it will be 20 lakh. The number of statement issued, it is given in the question 3,50,000 plus 50,000 plus 1 lakh. So this will be 5 lakh. And computer inquiry is dependent upon minutes. So this will be 360 plus 180 plus 180. So it will be 7,20,000. So now we are done with the statement. Now we have to calculate the absorption rate. So 8 lakh divided by 2 lakh, it is for rupees 4 per transaction. 10 lakh divided by 20 lakhs. So this will be 0.5. 20 lakh divided by 5 lakh. This will be 4. 360 divided by 720. This will be 0.5. So anyone having any doubts till now, you guys can please post your queries. Very good, Meenu. Computer inquiry, it is given straight away that the cost is 2 lakh and there is an 80% increase in cost. So this will be 3,60,000. And the number of telephone minutes are given in the question straight away, Prajyot. I'm not getting what you are writing. Very good, Mustafa. Himanshu, what exactly you have written? I'm not getting. Computer inquiry, it will be 0.417, my dear. No, sorry, 0.4. It will be 0.5. Please recheck your calculation, Himanshu. So we are done with the calculation of absorption rate. Now statement showing statement of cost. There are three products. There are three products for this company: deposit, loans, and credit card. Deposits, loan, and credit card. So let's start. So these are the costs. That is, first is ATM service. The second cost is computer processing. Third is issuing statement. And fourth is computer. Now, when talking about ATM service, the absorption rate is 4 per ATM transaction. 4 per ATM transaction. So 4 into, in case of deposit, there are 1,50,000 deposits. So 150 into 4. So this will be 6 lakh. Nothing for loan. For credit card, it is 50,000. So 50,000 into 4, this will be 2 lakh. Similarly, for computer processing also, it is 0.5 for every computer transaction. So for deposit, it is 15 lakh. So 15 lakh into 0.5, this will be 7 lakh 50,000. 2 lakh into 0.5, this will be 1 lakh. And 3 lakh into 0.5, this will be 1 lakh 50,000. Next is issuing statement. So it is 350, 50 and 1 lakh. So 350 into 4, this will be 14 lakh. 50 into 4, this will be 2 lakh. 1 lakh into 4, this will be 4 lakh. Next is computer inquiry. Depending upon telephone minutes, so it is 0.5 per minute. So 360 into 0.5, this will be 1,80,000. 1,80,000 into 0.5, this will be 90,000. 180 into 0.5, this will also be 90,000. So we are done with the calculation of total cost. So 6 lakh plus 750 plus 14 lakh plus 1 lakh 80,000. So this will be 29 lakh 30,000. This will be 3 lakh 90,000. This will be 8 lakh 40,000. So we are able to calculate the total cost. If we will divide it by number of units, we will get the cost per unit. And when talking about the number of units or volume, it is 58,600 deposit accounts. 13,000 loan accounts, and 14,000 credit card accounts. So we'll be able to calculate the cost per unit. So this will be 60. This will be 30. So again, I'm following the same procedure. The absorption, calculation of absorption rate and statement of cost. In this, there was no traditional approach. So straight away, as per activity-based costing, the statement of absorption and thereafter the statement of cost. This was the additional working note. Reason being why? Because we don't have, the exact overheads, the budget overheads for the budgeted period were not given. So we did this extra working to calculate the overheads. Rest, again, the same procedure, that is statement showing calculation of absorption rate and the statement of cost. So when talking about activity-based costing, this is the particular pattern to solve the question in 80-85%. In fact, in 90% cases, you have to follow the same pattern. So I request you guys to please copy the solution. Again, the solution in study material is same, but yes, the presentation is different. So I hope you are comfortable with the presentation. So I request you guys to copy the solution, please. Let me check few queries first, then I'll give you time to copy. Very good, Meenu. All your answers are correct. Okay, Meda, I'll repeat it 1 second. Deepika, please recheck your calculation. Deepika, please recheck your calculation. Very good, Purnima. Your answers are correct. Yes, you have to use this format in exams. This is the easiest way to solve the question. I hope you are thorough with the concept, Hina. Any doubts, Hina? Yes, try to solve the questions with this format. You'll find it easy and this is more logical. See, institute solutions are also logical, but this is much more easier as compared to the solutions that are given in study material. There are a few more queries. Let me check first. Okay, so those who have any queries, Medha, Aditya, please raise your hand. You can unmute and you can speak up. This is not 3 lakh, this is 3,60,000, Deepika. This is 3,60,000, Deepika. Okay, so admin sir, can you please unmute Aditya? Yes, Aditya, tell me.
Good morning.
Very good morning, dear. Tell me.
Sir, in computer inquiry, there is a 3,60,000 in first, but there
Yeah.
is in 2 lakh into 80%.
So Aditya,
Hmm.
what is the language written in the question? Yes, speak up.
And plus the 80%. That's all
No,
into.
no. There is an increase by 80%, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So 80% of what it is increased? 2 lakh. So 2 lakh into 80%, how much amount you will get?
1,60,000 is the.
So 2 lakh plus 1,60,000, how much it will be?
3,60,000. Okay, okay.
Perfect?
Perfect, perfect. Perfect.
Okay, great. Now, 1 second, let me check. Okay, so Medha, yes, admin sir, can you please unmute Medha?
गुड मॉर्निंग सर.
Good morning, Medha. Tell me now.
सर मुझे एक्चुअली समझ में नहीं आया लाइक वेयर डज दिस 6 लाख एंड 2 लाख कमिंग फ्रॉम.
Okay. So what is the absorption rate, Medha? For
सर
ATM
4.
service, it is rupees 4.
यस सर.
Okay, how come I got this 2 lakh? Please tell me. See, before this, at least you should be aware about how come I got this 2 lakh. Any idea?
Yes sir, I think it is in the question.
No, no, it's not in the question. You have to calculate the total. See, the actual drivers and their budgeted quantity are given below, right?
Yes
Number
sir.
of ATM transactions are 1,50,000 for deposits, and for credit card it is 50,000, right?
Yes sir.
Read the question. Don't say yes, sir. First check the question. I
Number of
think
computer processing transactions.
how much it is?
Sir, 15 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh.
So the total is how much? 20 lakh, right? In the third case, the total is 5 lakh. In the fourth case, it is 7 lakh 20,000, right?
Yes sir.
So we have got the rate 4.5, 4.5, right?
Yes sir.
So 4 per ATM transaction, right?
Yes sir.
So now when talking about the number of ATM transaction, how many are the ATM transaction for deposits?
1,50,000.
One. And what is the rate?
4.
So 1,50,000 into 4, how much it is?
6 lakhs sir.
Now loans, there are no transaction. But for credit card, 50,000, right?
Yes sir.
Into
Into 4. Okay sir, got it.
perfect. So similarly for all the cases, number of computer processing, number of statements and telephone minutes. I hope it is clear.
Absolutely sir.
Perfect. Chaliye.
Thank
Next
you.
one. Are there any queries? Let me check. So it happens. Don't worry, Hina. It will take time. So Hina raised a point that, sir, only issue what I'm facing is that when you explain, I completely understand. But as I see a new question, it get difficult to understand. So how to improve that? So the practice is the key, Hina. I think many of the students are facing this problem कि सर आप सॉल्व करवा रहे हो हर चीज एकदम सिंपल और इजी लगता है But when we see the question, it's like, I mean, what's wrong with this question? So the point is, try to practice as many as questions as you can. Again, practice is the key. Again, don't check the solution and do ticking. Read the question carefully and start writing your own solution. And once the solution is complete, then only check the answer sheet. See, exams में आपको answer sheet नहीं मिलेगा to check the solution that okay, this step is correct, now let's proceed. So you will not be getting any answer sheet in exams. So try to write your own solution. See, I know it's bit time consuming, but yes, once you'll practice 5 to 6 questions on your own, okay, if you make a mistake, that's okay. But the point is, in the next time when you will solve the question, you will not repeat the same mistake. So advice from my side to all the students, I have mentioned in my previous lectures also, very important. First point in costing, stick to the concepts. There are no formulas in cost accounting. Throughout these coming session, be it standard costing, be it marginal costing, I will not be discussing any formula. I'll be discussing the concepts, that why these formulas. And so first thing is, instead of memorizing formula, focus on the concept. Second point, very important point, there is no alternate of hard work. Try to solve as many as possible question in writing. Don't do ticking in the study material that okay, this is I have calculated, this is I have calculated. एग्जाम में आपको आंसर शीट नहीं मिलेगा कि आपको टिकिंग करके आंसर्स चेक करने. यू हैव टू राइट योर ओन सोल्यूशन. सो ट्राई टू राइट योर ओन सोल्यूशन. अगर गलती हुआ, नो प्रॉब्लम, but next time when you will solve the question, you will not repeat the same mistake. Again, when you are writing the solution, your own solution, you will get two benefits. First thing is, you will be better with the concept. Second thing, the speed. The speed is very important. Speed to solve the question is very important, because you know many students face this problem that they are not being able to complete the paper on time because of lack of speed. So speed is also important, and concepts are also important, and it will come with practice. So try to solve as many as possible questions in writing. Don't do ticking in the study material or various author books. Write your own solution, and then trust me, once you will solve 5 6 questions, you'll be able to solve as many as possible questions as you can. So anyone else with any doubts or queries? Yes, I will be sending, once the chapter gets over, I'll be sending few new questions also. In most of the cases, it is system generated, but you need to. So guys, enough of discussion on this question. Anyone having any doubts now? So fine. Let's take a break of 15 minutes. I need a break. So let's take a break of 15 minutes. I'll be back after the break, wherein we'll already discuss few questions on activity-based costing, and we'll try to understand what the question says, how to prepare the format, and then that chapter will be the homework for you. I'll be putting up additional question in coming day or two. So let's take a break of 15 minutes. Edwin sir? Yes, please. Welcome back, my friends. So we are done with this question. So let's take one more question from study material. So let's start with question number 2 from study material. Practical question number 2 from study material. I request you guys to open practical question number 2 from study material. So let's start with this question. RST Limited specializes in the distribution of pharmaceutical products. It buys from pharmaceutical companies and resell it to each of the 3 different markets, that is general supermarket chain, drugstore chain, and chemist shop. The following data for the month of April in respect of RST Limited has been reported, wherein the data is given. That is average revenue per delivery. For every delivery, they are getting this revenue of 84,975 for general supermarket, and again drugstore chain and chemist shop it is given. So the average revenue, that is the average sales per delivery, is given. The average cost of goods sold per delivery is also given. So the revenue is given, the cost is given, we can get the profit. Further, the number of deliveries are given. So we can calculate the total profit, that is the revenue minus cost, we will get the profit per delivery into the number of deliveries, we will get the total profit. In the past, RST Limited had used gross margin percentage to evaluate the relative profitability of its distribution. Now the company plans to use activity-based costing for analyzing the profitability of its distribution channel. So now they are planning to switch to activity-based costing. The activity analysis of RST Limited is as under, wherein the activities, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total 5 activities are there. First is customer purchase order processing, and the cost driver for this activity is also given. So no need to do any exercise to identify the driver. The activity is given, and what will be the basis of absorption for that activity. Basically, the cost driver for that activity is also given straight away. So for the first activity, that is customer purchase order processing, so it will be absorbed on the basis of purchase order by customer. Next is line item ordering. It is to be absorbed on the basis of line item per purchase order. Next is stores delivery, wherein the store deliveries, it is to be absorbed on the basis of store deliveries. Cartons dispatched to stores. It is to be absorbed on the basis of carton dispatched to a store per delivery. And the next is shelf stocking at customer store. So hours of shelf stocking. So the activity is given and the cost driver for that activity is given straight away. So now 2 figures are needed. First is the total amount and second is the unit. So let's proceed further. The April month operating cost other than cost of goods sold, so other than the cost that is given above, of RST Limited are 8,27,970. These operating costs are assigned to 5 activities area, and the cost in each area and the quantity of cost allocation basis used in that area for the month of April is given. So the total additional cost apart from the cost of goods sold is 8,27,970, and it is distributed among the 5 activities, which is 2,20,000, 175, 560, 195, 250, 2,09,000 and 28, 160. So the amount of the cost, the amount of the, the cost, the value of the, the amount of the overheads are also given for a particular activity. And when talking about the units are also given straight away. So activity is given, amount is given, the cost driver is given. See, here in the activity is given, the amount is given, the cost driver is given, the units are given. So straight away we have to calculate the absorption rate. So herein, for customer purchase order processing, it is 5,500 orders. Line item ordering, it is 58,520 20 line items. Then again, store delivery, it is 3,905 store deliveries. Cartons dispatched to store, it is 2,09,000 cartons. And the hours are given for shelf stocking. So this part is given. Now we need separate. Separate units for the three categories. That is, there are three categories, right? That is general supermarket chain, drugstore chain, and chemist shop. So let's see the additional information is given or not. So straight away it is given. The separately, that is for general supermarket, the number of orders are given. Drugstore also it is given, and chemist shop also it is given. So everything is given straight away. Everything is given straight away. So let's cross verify the total also. So see, we have the total number of orders, that is 385 plus 990 plus 4125. So the total number of orders are 5,500. See, the total of these three, that is 385, 990 and 4125, the total is 5,500. So we have got it. So the total number of orders are 5,500. Similarly, 9-item ordering, stores delivery, and all the information is given in the question. Here in C, very important, average number of line item per order are given. For every order, the line items are given, and it is to be absorbed on the basis of line item per purchase order. So herein everything is given straight away in the question. The point is, the activities are given, the amount are given, the driver are given, the units are given. So we can calculate the absorption rate and we can distribute it among the three products, that is general supermarket chain, drugstore chain, and chemist shop. Anyone having any doubts? If you guys want me to write the solution, I can write it. Else we can start with the next question. So I've just discussed the question verbally. Anyone having any doubts in this question? Do you guys want me to solve this question on the board? Asking everyone. Great, Krishna. Gunjan, very good. Okay. I hope you are comfortable with this question, Hina, now. At least you have got an overall idea how to approach the solution. Great. Let me check other students also if anyone have any doubts in this question. It is revenue minus cost, the profit divided by revenue into 100, you will get the gross margin. Kervi Gupta. Great. So now let's start with the next question. Again, there is one more illustration in the study material which we skipped. Illustration number 2. I request you guys to please open illustration number 2. So let's start with illustration number 2, wherein MST Limited has collected the following data for its 2 activities. It calculates the activity cost driver rate based on the cost driver capacity. So I repeat again, MST Limited has collected the following data for its 2 activities. So there are 2 activities. It calculates the activity cost rate based on the cost driver capacity. So when talking about the activities, there are 2 activities, that is power and quality inspection. And the basis of absorption is again given straight away. That is, power is to be absorbed on the basis of kilowatt hours, and quality inspection is to be absorbed on the basis of number of inspection. Now capacity, when talking about the total capacity, it is 50,000 kilowatt hours, and when talking about the quality inspection, it is 10,000 number of inspection. So we have the units of the cost driver. Now when talking about the cost, the power cost is 2 lakh and the quality inspection cost is 3 lakh. So the activity is given, the total amount 2 lakh and 3 lakh is given. The cost driver is given, that is kilowatt hours and number of inspection. The units are given, that is 50,000 and 10,000. So we can calculate the absorption rate. Now the next part, the company make 3 products, M, S, and T, for the year ending 31st March. And the following consumption or cost driver was reported, wherein separately is given for M, S, and T. But very important, guys, see, M, it is 10,000, S, it is 20,000 kilowatt hours, and T, it is 15,000 kilowatt hours. So the total is 45,000 kilowatt hours. So when talking about the capacity given, it is 50,000 kilowatt, but the hours that is consumed by M, S, and T is how much? 45,000. So what about these 5,000 hours? That is a big question mark. So herein the total is not matching with M, S, and T. The total of M plus S plus T, it is 45,000. The total of these 3 is 45,000. However, our capacity is 50,000. Let's see, some information will be given in the question. Similarly, for quality inspection also, the total should be 10,000. But let's check. 3 plus 2, 5, 1, 6, 6 plus 3, 9. So again, the total of M, S, and T is 9,000. However, on the upper side, it is given 10,000. So what about 1,000? Sorry. What about the extra 1,000 hour? So we have a problem with 5,000 kilowatt hours and 1,000 inspections. We have problem with 5,000 kilowatt hours and 1,000 number of inspection. Let's see, some information will be given in the question. Required, compute the cost allocated to each product from each activity. Okay, so we can. Now next point, calculate the cost of unused capacities. The question has also mentioned that there is some capacity which is spare or which is unused. So we have to calculate the cost of unused capacity. So again, this question won't take much of time. So let's discuss this question quickly. So again, see, there is no traditional costing. So what we have to do, we have to prepare the statement showing calculation of absorption rate. So this is illustration number 2. Page number is 5.22. So let's start. Statement showing calculation of absorption rate. So there are two activities, that is power and quality inspections. When talking about the total amount, we have it is 2 lakh and 3 lakh. When talking about cost driver, it is kilowatt hours and number of inspection. When talking about units, straight away it is given in the question, that is 50,000 and 10,000. So we will get the absorption rate. So this will be rupees 4 per hour, and this will be 30 per inspection. Now, let's start with the calculation of cost. How many products are there? M, S, and T. So, for power cost, it is rupees 4 per hour. So 4 into 10,000, 40,000, 80,000, and 60,000. When talking about quality inspection, it is rupees 30 per inspection. So 3,500 into 30, it is 1,05,000. 2,500 into 30, it is 75,000. And 3,000 into 30. So this is what will be my total cost. That is 1,45,000. 1,55,000 and 1,50,000. Now, very important part, the cost of unused capacity. So this is a very small twist in the question. Anyways, while you'll practice, you will you'll be able to figure out that sometimes examiner put few additional points in activity-based costing to confuse you guys. But trust me, read the question with patience, you'll be able to solve any question. Now see, how much is my unused capacity in this case? When talking about power, the total hours consumed are 20 plus 10, 30 plus 15, 45. So how much additional hours are my unused capacity? When talking about the spare hours, it is 5,000 hours. Because total we have 50,000 hours, of which 45,000 hours were consumed in manufacturing M, S, and T. So still we are left out with 5,000 hours. So 5,000 hours into 4. So 20,000. And when talking about quality inspection, again very simple. The total number of inspection, we were having a capacity of 10,000. However, the number of inspections conducted were only 9,000. 3 plus 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So 9,000. So our spare capacity is how much? 1,000 inspection. Into the rate per inspection is how much? 30. So 50,000 is what? The cost of that's it. So this was the additional point in the question. Rest the question was very easy. Very good, Hina. Very good, Meenu. Very good, Meda. I hope now you are able to understand the concepts, Meda. I hope you are comfortable with the concepts. Yes, Meda. Any doubts? Yes, I know question 2 was your homework. Practical question number 1, I think, was also your homework. Very good, Prajyot. Very good, Kuldeep. So Meda, see, when talking about this 5,000 C, my capacity was how much? My capacity was of 50,000 hours. But hours used in MSNT is how much? See, the hours used in MSNT is how much? 10 plus 20 plus 15. 10 plus 20 plus 15. So 45,000 hours. So 5,000 hours are what? My spare capacity, spare hours. Similarly, when talking about this 1,000, my capacity was how much? 10,000. But how many inspection I did? 35, 25, and 3. So take 1,000. It means spare. So 5,000 and 1,000. This is how I got Meda. I hope it is clear now, Meda. Yes, Meda. Okay. Anyone else with any doubts or queries? I'm done with this chapter. Activity based costing. So you have last 3 to 4 minutes time to post all your queries. Yes, asking everyone, anyone having any doubts or queries, any conceptual queries, or any question related queries, or how to approach the solution, anything running in your mind, feel free to post your message. Yes, you can, Meenu, it's up to you. But it is by default understood examiner is not going to give you that much time to do extra working, because at the end of the day you have to complete the paper on time also. Anyone else? Yes, you can try now. You can try all the sums, Deepika. In fact, everyone, all the questions that are given in study material are homework for you. Apart from this, I think you have, apart from this, try to solve the questions of MTPs, RTPs, and mock tests, whatever the data is available. Working should form part of your answer, Kuldeep. Working notes are very, very important. So whatever the working notes, no need to think anything. Just straight away prepare the working note and put it as a part of your answer. Working notes are very important, and for every working note also you will get some marks. See, the point is, Karavi, again, generally when talking about activity-based costing, sometimes the questions are lengthy. So read the question with patience. Read each and every line of the questions with patience. Generally, most of the questions are like preparing the cost statement as per traditional approach and as per activity-based costing. So again, the same procedure. Absorption rate, statement of cost. Statement of calculating absorption rate as per ABC and the statement of cost. This is the only approach to solve the question. You have to present each and every working, Himanshu Kumar. So you can refer study material for theory questions. It's easy. Examiner generally don't ask theory question from this chapter. Still, you can refer past examination question. If there are any, then try to just read the theory question. Rest, generally examiner do ask practical question, but yes, you should not skip theory also. Yes, you can, Mr. Arun. I'm not saying that skip the theory. Medha Sen, if you have any queries relating to other chapters, then you can just write a mail cma-inter@icai.in. cma-inter@icai.in. Addressing my name, I'll try my best to attend all your queries. Don't worry, Medha. The point is, I just want each and every student of mine to score good marks in exams. So whatever the queries you have relating to my subject, just write a mail cma-inter@icai.in. Addressing my name, I'll be taking care of your queries. Don't worry. In a day or two, I'll surely respond to all your queries, Medha. And anyone, in fact. I'm not getting what you're saying, Aditya. Admin sir, can you please unmute Aditya? Admin sir?
Sir?
Yeah, Aditya, tell me.
Sir, in examination, in the textbook, we have practicals. We have to solve any questions. In examination situations, that practical questions are used in textbooks or in outside. There is any outside.
I think
Outside
you
the
are
question.
asking that exam mein jo questions, see the questions that are coming in exams are out of the book or from the book, right? This is what you are asking.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
Arey yaar, if everyone is asking that, if the examiner is going to ask you the questions from the material, then everyone will clear the CA exams, yaar. So examiner can ask anything, be it related to be it the questions from the study material, or it can be from outside from study material. So 99% cases you will find altogether a different question that is not there in the study material. But yes, the concepts are same. Be it any question, the concepts will be the same. So that's why you need to practice the questions of study material plus the past examination questions, plus the past practice manual questions, RTPs, MTPs of 5-6 years. Trust me, that is more than sufficient, and you can easily score 60% plus marks. I hope it is clear, Aditya.
Clear, sir.
When talking about the weightage, generally examiner asks minimum of 8 marks question from activity-based costing, Linga. So anyone else with any doubts or queries? I hope you are thorough with the concepts. Anyone with any doubts or queries? I'm done with this chapter. That's okay. Please take care of yourself, Medha. It's fine. I'm there. Don't worry. Whatever the queries you have, you can please post your queries. Don't worry. Yes, well said, Kuldeep Nagar. Conceptual clarity plus working notes plus RTPs, MTPs plus the past examination questions also, Kuldeep. So guys, thank you so much for your time and patience and for active participation in the session. See you guys soon with the next chapter, that is cost sheet, wherein I'll be asking you many questions also. So be prepared, come prepared for the next session. In the meanwhile, solve all the questions of activity-based costing. Just try to complete the chapter along with the lectures only. So if I have completed ABC, even complete the chapters from your end also. Try as many as possible questions in the given span of time. And then once the new chapter starts again, there will be some new concepts, new questions. So make sure once the chapter gets over, try to solve all the questions of that chapter that time only. Don't wait that as and when the syllabus will get over, then only I'll start solving the question. This approach is incorrect. You'll forget everything. So the best approach is once the chapter gets over, try to solve as many as possible questions of that chapter only. Thank you so much, guys. God bless you. See you in the coming session with a new chapter cost sheet. Take care till then. Thank you so much. Edwin sir, I'm done. Yes. Everything went smooth. कोई glitch वगैरह तो नहीं था ना?